Base building is the backbone of a true RTS. Without a base, really, it's real-time tactics. Base building is the economy, the escalation, the pressure to expand or die. We've seen a recent move in the industry to sideline it or strip it out completely, but these 5 games still get it right. These are the best base building RTS games worth playing today. Command & Conquer Red Alert locked in the rhythm of base building, the escalation, the feeling that you're building the ability to fight, not just fighting. The Remastered Collection takes the original structure and gets it running on modern machines. Visuals are sharper, controls are tighter, and you can flip between old and new graphics instantly. Underneath it's still the same game: build refineries, harvest ore, scale up your economy, and push out production structures in a deliberate chain. There's no tech tree in a menu, you build your way through it, one structure at a time. What makes this still worth playing today is how readable it is. Your base tells the story of the match. Barracks and power plants mean early game. Radar dome and war factories mean mid game. Tech center, well, you're nearly there. The escalation is baked into your construction choices. And it punishes you for messing up. Store your economy and you're done. Lose map control and you lose income. Build too defensively and your opponent takes the rest of the map whilst you turtle waiting to die. It's unforgiving, but it's not complicated. The maps push you too. Ore is finite, expanding isn't optional. You're forced to make forward moves just to keep your economy going. When you expand, it's a commitment. Every new outpost becomes ground you need to defend. The Remastered Collection includes Red Alert, Tiberian Dawn, all expansions and proper skirmish AI. Multiplayer still works. The soundtrack hits as hard as it did in the 90s, and the FMVs, still absolutely ridiculous, in the best possible way. Base building in Starcraft II is tight, timed, and constantly under pressure. Every second counts, and the faster you can turn your economy into production, the better your odds of survival. Each of the 3 factions offers a different kind of base building tension. Terran players rely on flexible placement and mobile structures. Zergs spread across the map like a living infection, balancing expansion with vulnerability. Protoss are all about timing windows, war pins, and tight formation. Each race forces you to build differently. Starcraft II rewards mastery. Every building placement, every worker allocation, every split-second upgrade decision affects how quickly you can hit your timing push or survive one. There's no room for waste, no margin for error. A well-built base is a weapon. The campaign and co-op missions give casual players a place to explore the base building systems at a more forgiving pace. The learning curve is steep, but the onboarding is thoughtful. You can build slowly at first, but the deeper you go, the more it demands, and the base building never drops away. You win because you built better. You can see it working in front of you: drones mining, buildings producing, pylons warping in. It's mechanical and beautiful, clear and brutal. Starcraft II is still one of the cleanest examples of pure RTS base building under pressure. Very few games have matched it for pace, balance and precision. Age of Empires II had the kind of base building that punished indecision, rewarded precision, and forced you to think several steps ahead. There's no flashy gimmicks, there's no automation system to smooth the rough edges, just you, 4 resources, and the pressure to make every click count. Base building here is about tempo and territory. Your opening build order sets the tone. Do it right and you're booming into multiple town centres by Castle Age. Do it wrong and you'll be stuck chasing momentum with a half-baked economy. Everything hinges on how well you laid the foundations. The Definitive Edition doesn't reinvent anything, it doesn't need to. It refines the classic formula with quality of life improvements, sharper AI, visual upgrades, and all the expansions rolled in. The result is a game that feels modern without sacrificing what made it brutal in the first place. This isn't a sandbox, there's no safety net. If you overextend your eco or forget military production, you get punished fast. Opponents scout your layout, raid your villages, and exploit any weaknesses in your build. Every building placement is a risk. A forward barrack signals aggression. A defensive castle tells your opponent you're scared. You're broadcasting your intent. Even now, no other historical RTS offers this level of mechanical clarity. The clean counters, the race through the ages, the grind to keep villagers working while managing fights across the map. It all ties back to your base. It's the economic engine, the military factory, the fortress, and the weak point. If you want to understand why people still play Age of Empires II in tournaments after 25 years, this is why. Because the base is the game. Beyond All Reason takes the bones of Total Annihilation and builds something better. A passionate community has been developing this completely free open source game for years. There's no microtransactions or DLC, there's no corporate nonsense. The scale here is massive, thousands of units on a screen simultaneously. Your economy runs on metal and energy, and you'll need both in industrial quantities. Build too many factories without enough power plants and your entire war machine grinds to a halt. The faction system keeps things interesting. ARM focuses on cheaper, faster units, Core goes for expensive, heavy-hitting war machines. Each faction plays completely differently, forcing you to adapt your strategies. Base building feels organic. You're not placing predefined structures on grid squares, you're creating sprawling industrial complexes that grow and evolve as your needs change. Your base becomes a living thing, with power grids, production lines, and defensive networks all interconnected. The combat system is satisfying in ways most modern RTS games forget. Units have real physics, projectiles can miss, artillery shells arc through the air and leave craters. When a massive robot explodes, nearby units actually get knocked around. Beyond Our Reason proves that innovation doesn't need a publisher's budget, it just needs developers who understand what makes strategy games compelling. Download it, play it, this is what the genre should be. Supreme Commander Forged Alliance is the peak of the RTS genre, everything else is compromise. This expansion to the original Supreme Commander fixes every problem the base game had. The campaign makes sense, the faction balance works, the performance issues are mostly gone. What you get is the most ambitious strategy game ever made, running properly. The scale is absurd, maps are measured in kilometres. Your commander starts alone on a continent-sized battlefield and ends up commanding armies that stretch beyond the horizon. Watching 1,000 tanks clash while experimental units lumber across the landscape never gets old. Each faction plays completely differently. UEF builds tough, practical units that win through superior firepower. Aeon focuses on energy weapons and advanced technology. Cybran specialises in stealth, electronic warfare, and units that look like they crawled out of a nightmare. The Seraphim added in Forged Alliance bring alien technology that bends the rules entirely. The strategic zoom was revolutionary. Pull back to see the entire battlefield as icons, then zoom in to watch individual units duke it out. You could handle both grand strategy and tactical combat simultaneously. Base building matters here, your economy determines everything. Mass extractors, power generators, and factories create a web of dependencies. Lose your power grid and your entire war machine shuts down. Protect your economy or watch your front lines crumble. The learning curve is a cliff. New players get overwhelmed by the complexity, the unit variety, and the economic management. But once it clicks, other RTS games feel shallow. The tactical depth is endless. Forged Alliance still has an active community. The FAF client keeps multiplayer alive with balanced patches and new maps. Competitive players fierce, with strategies evolving constantly. This is strategy gaming at its most uncompromising. There's no hand-holding, no simplified mechanics for mass market appeal, just pure, complex warfare on a scale no other game matches. That's our list. 5 games that show what base building RTS can accomplish when developers prioritise depth over accessibility. Subscribe for more strategy content that cuts through the noise. Check out criticalmovespodcast.com for all the ways to get involved.